Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Anyways, we had a big long lecture last time about vampires, which I have been told is new information. Some of that stuff was around before, but the general power scaling, that's new, right? All those different levels, and I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty good to have. Numbers and lore, you love to have it because then you don't have to worry about making it up yourself, you know? Anyways, why is she talking like that? So she wants to give wants us to try our glasses. You know what? We're gonna let her see them. Take them. Arcueid doesn't look like she'll back down. Besides, if she gets any closer, there's a good chance we'll end up wrestling for the glasses, and she'll absolutely win if it comes down to that. I love this song. The little pan flute just reminds me of Pokemon Snap, which I can't even talk about without wanting to cry. I passed my glasses to Arcueid. Please wear them. Please wear them. She purses her lips as she inspects the glasses from all angles, then pauses and looks up at me.
シキ、これをあなたに渡した人、この町にいるの？
いないと思う。7年も前の話だし、一箇所にとどまるような人じゃなかったから。
So originally they lived in the same city, but now the canon is they don't, right? Now they're in Soya here, where the other place was Misaki, right? So Misaki there is different now, so they're not in the same location, because, you know, having both families live on a big house on a mountain was probably a bad idea, because there's way too close for those politics, right? So that's why they put them apart there. Wrong button.
そう、よかった。余計な相手が増えなくて。
Interesting she can immediately recognize them.
ま、ブルー相手じゃ引いた方が無難でしょうけどね。
That's really interesting. I mean, it makes sense she'd know about her, but still, wow. A stern expression graces her face as she falls silent.
アルクエイド、お前先生じゃなくて、そのメガネを作った人を知ってるのか？
知ってるわ。現存する4人の魔法使いの一人だもの。
That means nothing to Shiki.
そのメガネだってね、とんでもない一品なのよ。今の私の力じゃ、とてもじゃないけど壊せないぐらい。
Okay, I didn't know they'd be like that. Arcueid's tone grows more serious.
お前壊すつもりだったのか？
え？私そんなこと口にしちゃった？
やっぱり壊す気だったんだな。
I huff at her to give them back and wrench the glasses out of her hand.
ったく、このメガネがないと正気じゃいられないって言ったのはそっちだろ。それとも俺にそうなれって言いたかったのか、お前は。
She wants that edgy Tumblr boy BF.
別にそんなことじゃないけど、なんとなくシキが大切そうにしてるのが嫌だったから。
I really have no idea how vampires think. This girl was ready to destroy my one lifeline on a whim.
いいから、二度と変な考えは起こすなよ。先生との思い出も大事だけど、それ以上にこれがないとやっていけないんだ。四六時中線が見えてたら、頭痛で頭がどうにかしそうだし。
死が見えてると脳に負担がかかるのかしらね。シキの目は何かと原因がありそうだけど、とりあえず今はこれぐらいかな。機会があったらもう少し詳しく教えてあげるわ。
You know, the next time she brings out a random whiteboard out of nowhere.
結構だよ。あいにく長話は嫌いでね。
Oh, buddy, you're in the wrong genre then.
そう？私は誰かと話すのって好きだけどな。意図が半分も伝わらない不自由な言葉でもこんなに心が揺れるんだもの。
Arcueid beams an honest, unreserved smile. It really looks like the simple act of conversing is enough to make her happy. Okay. I wonder if we didn't give her the glasses, would we just skip to this? We'll see. The night drags on. Arcueid is seated on the bed. I'm on the sofa, aimlessly staring at the clock. Just past 4 a.m. Only an hour or so to go till sunrise.
あと1時間か。
Nothing out of the ordinary's happened so far, and Arcueid doesn't look the slightest bit nervous. The hotel is perfectly peaceful. I've been pretty nervous myself, but it's starting to look like I didn't need to be. It's nice. I have a feeling the night will pass uneventfully, just like this.
ねえシキ、
Mm-hmm. For the umpteenth time this night, Arcueid calls out to me.
なんだよ。もう話すこととかないからな、こっちは。
そうなの？せっかくこうしてるのにもったいないね。
あのな、さっきからどれだけおしゃべりに付き合ってると思ってるんだ。
Like Arcueid, I know, we got the whole vampire and human thing, but we also have the whole introvert and extrovert thing. And let me tell you, one of those is easier to reconcile than the other.
6時間だぞ、6時間。何が疲れたかって、見張りなんかよりそっちの方が疲れたよ、俺は。
Arcueid shoots a dissatisfied pout. It's been like this all night. For whatever reason, Arcueid just keeps talking to me. I told her that if she's so weak, she should get some sleep instead, but...
話している方が楽しいから。
How did we end up like this? I really have no idea what's going on through her mind. On top of that, I'm starting to get hungry. Now that I think about it, it's been nearly an entire day since I ate something. The last meal I had was yesterday's breakfast.
お腹が減っているなら何か食べたら？せっかくホテルに泊まってるんだから、ルームサービスを使えばいいのに。
いい、緊張感がそがれる。そういうお前の方こそ、何か食べた方がいいんじゃないか。弱ってるくせに眠りもしないんだから、せめて食事ぐらいしろよ。
No, but actually, I'm kind of on his side here. I whenever I need to do something important, do it hungry. And I've said this before, play hungry. If you're doing a job, do it hungry. Afterwards, you can eat. Because if you eat, you feel full. When you're full, you're slow, you're lazy. Work hungry, play hungry.
四季がいいなら私もやめ
That's
とく。
terrible advice, don't listen to me.
普通の食事もそれなりに意味はあるけど、一人で食べてもつまらないもの。
普通の食事って、食事に普通も特別も。
Right. She doesn't look like one, but she's still a vampire. Her meals would normally consist of human blood. She said it herself. Vampires need human blood to survive, which means she's drunk the blood of others before. I wonder how many humans she's killed in her life. Steal a glance at Arcueid. I just can't wrap my head around it. No matter how many times she explains the intricacies of vampires to me, I just can't imagine her drinking blood.
何？私の顔になんかついてる？
Yeah, your nose. I quickly look away. It's her turn to stare at me now. The corners of her lip pulls up into a mischievous grin.
気になる？
何が？
私がどのくらいの数、人間から血を吸ったのか。
Yes. Concerning you figured that out. She saw right through me. Her happy, smug smile is enough to unsettle me. I don't like it, but I can't deny I'm morbidly curious as to how many people she's killed.
そりゃ気になるよ。俺はお前と協力してるんだ。それぐらい知っとかないと、いつお前が心変わりして襲いかかってくるか予測がつかないだろ。
It's a legitimate concern to have. Arcueid nods along, seemingly satisfied with my reasoning.
それじゃあ問題。 私は今まで何人の血を吸ってきたでしょう。
Arcueid hops off the bed with a bounce and heads back over to the window.
何人のって、それ
Arcueid smiles sweetly. She seems to be enjoying herself. She's clearly trying to get a rise out of me. Fine, I'll play this game. This strange woman has to have killed 1,000 people.
10人は少ない。
はい、全然惜しくない外れね。
じゃあ100単位か。
I don't think any of these matter.
残念、日和切った外れです。
なら1000単位なのか。
はい、それも豪快に外れだわ。
Arcueid chuckles softly to herself. I'm not angry with her, but I'm starting to feel very frustrated.
じゃあそんなことはないと思うけど、まさか万。
それも外れ。もう10だの100だの1000だのって式は私のことそういう風に見てたわけね。
違うのか。吸血鬼ってのは見境なしなんだろう。人間だって生きてるだけで腹が減るんだ。お前たちだって生きていくために血を吸うんなら再現はないんじゃないのか。
そうね、それはそうなんだけど。
But as usual, she's an exception. Ooh, that's
私
a
は自
nice
分から
art.
血を吸うなんてこの800年一度もないかな。普通の人間を殺したことだって一度もないよ。
The word normal there is really sticking out at me. It's such a weird thing to hear a vampire say, but I still find myself asking the question.
それ本当の話か。
本当よ。だって私血を吸うのが怖いんだもの。
血を吸うのが怖いって吸血鬼なのに。
きっと臆病なのよ私は。だからいつまで経っても吸血師としても半人前ってこと。
You're too late, Sora. I'm already half vampire. Arcueid utters the words as she idly glances out the window. She pauses to gaze at the night sky in a drawn-out moment of quiet. As I watch her, it feels like she's becoming less distinct, a hazy phantasm drifting away.
そっか。半人前なんだ。
Just muttering those words provides an odd relief. Wait, why does it feel like a load has been taken off my shoulders? That's weird, right? Yeah, it's definitely weird.
どうかしたの式？
別に何でもない。お前が臆病なチキンだから笑っただけ。
This is so funny. Because in FGO, when I summoned her, I took her to a challenge quest. And Archetype Earth, one of the strongest beings in the Nasuverse, got killed by chickens. Just got ruined by like 30 chickens. Like, who would win? Someone who is so strong they have a sword representing the will of the planet? Or 30 chickens?
チキン？私なんで鳥？
Arcueid tilts her head in confusion. She really doesn't look like a vampire in the slightest. Only natural for me to be relieved. How could I not be? Turned out the person in front of me isn't anywhere near as evil as I'd feared. If what she says is true, there's no reason for me to worry about Arcueid spontaneously killing me. No, buddy. If some of these dead ends are the ones like they are in the original, nah, you kinda do. And it's not just my newfound sense of safety that's bringing me relief. There must be something wrong with me. The idea that Arcueid doesn't count herself as a full-fledged vampire is what has me happiest of all. Can't believe I was so wrong about her all this time. Whoa? Hello?
あれ
Huh? Just as I'm about to relax around Arcueid, I'm struck by a sharp sense of pain and vertigo. Maybe it's because you haven't eaten 24 hours and you're anemic? No, this is something else. My vision is blanketed by a white haze. This isn't the same as my anemia. I'm still thinking too clearly for that. A strange, cold chill accompanies my headache.
どうしたのよ、シキ。そんなに額に汗を浮かべちゃって。
汗。
I wipe the back of my hand, cross my forehead as I reply, and I'm wet with far more wet, sticky sweat than I'd anticipated. Like when you type into an AI photo maker, you say to include like sweat or snot, and it just adds like a copious amount. And you're like, ooh, I don't like that. This is weird. Judging by the sweat, you'd think I was in a sauna. As if urged by the pool of anxiety welling up in my chest, my eyes dart to the digital clock. It's 4:32 a.m. Too early for the sun to beat back against the chilly night air. The clock itself still lists the current temperature outside as a cool 11 degrees Celsius. Ooh, that's like perfect window open temperature. It's way too cold for me to start breaking a sweat like this. So then why does this room feel like I'm standing outside on a hot summer day?
アルクエイド、お前暑くないのか？
ん？別に活動に異常をきたすほどの温度じゃないでしょ？まだたったの38度だし。
Wait,
弱っているとはいえ、今の私でも3000度ぐらいまでなら普通だよ。
38 degrees is pretty hot. I'm an idiot for even asking. Did she say 3000 degrees Celsius? So you could throw a vampire on a grill and they wouldn't burn? Arcueid, the next time we're free, we need to do a test. We need to try something. No, this isn't the time to be thinking about that. The digital display still lists the temperature as 11 degrees, so either the clock is malfunctioning or my body is... Well, 38 degrees is still pretty hot, too. I searched the room for another thermometer.
なんだあれ。
As I scan the room, my gaze becomes transfixed on the monitor, displaying a live feed of the hotel lobby. I knew this would come up. Oh no! Oh boy. I can hardly believe my eyes. It's something you'd only see in a movie. Okay, so he just has a dog, I guess. Okay. Flames spread through the lobby like water spilling from a sink. Mixed in the thick black smoke, I see a humanoid silhouette. It gives me the impression of a massive predator, like the one I have at my school. A carnivore that eats those like it, like the one I have at my school.
アルクエイド。
Oh, she's serious. Arcueid remains silent. Is it hostility I read in her expression? No, it's something more like contempt. The two of us must be entertaining very different thoughts as we stare at this monitor. It takes less than a minute for the lobby to be entirely engulfed by the sea of flames. The fire alarm doesn't ring. The digital thermometer still hasn't changed, but my body is drenched in sweat and simply breathing the hot, dry air is enough to parch my throat. There's no time to think. They're here. Those flaming corpses from before have come to the hotel. I make a run for the window to inspect the situation outside. The town looks the same as ever. The hotel is bathed in flames, but nobody outside seems to have noticed a thing. There's no sign of aid rushing to the hotel, nor of any humans frantically trying to escape the fire.
どうなってるんだアルクエイド。
Arcueid keeps her mouth firmly shut, unwilling to say a word. Time simply passes. The temperature feels like it's getting hotter by the second. My skin feels like it could burn any minute. I don't know what things are like outside our room, nor do I have any idea what things are like on the floors below. All I know is that the awful, ominous feeling gripping my chest telling me that it's already too late. Arcueid is still silent. Is it because she's worried or frustrated? Her arms are crossed like she's hugging herself. Maybe she's trying to hold herself back? She said she wouldn't leave this room. She said she didn't have the power right now. In which case, what did I come here for? I don't remember which of these is life and which of these is death in the original there. Definitely one or the other. Whoa. We like skipped a scene? Whoa, okay, we're gonna need to play around with this later. That's fine. Anyways, we promised her we'd stay and protect her. Let's stay and observe the situation. It's better to observe the situation from in here. It'd be reckless for me to go out there alone while Arcueid is still recovering. Time continues to pass. My fingers tighten around the knife as my eyes fixate on the video feed of the lobby bathed in flame. God, that art is so HD. Arcueid's eyes are closed. Looking at her now reminds me of how beautiful, no, how powerful she looked in the moonlight. It's been more than half a day since the fight in the alley. Surely she's regained a bit of her power by now. It's hot. It's like I'm standing inches away from a massive bonfire, cooking and smoldering as the air in front of me distorts from the heat. It's getting hard to breathe. I figured that'd be safe as long as I stayed inside of the room, but my head is feeling light. At this rate, I'm gonna pass out. Should I go out there knowing it's dangerous? I still have time. But just as I start to reevaluate my decision, the lights go out. The mysteriously high temperature suddenly drops again. At the same time, I hear it. An unending flurry of knocks against the door. Oh boy. Arcueid's words are the only thing to break through the darkness. That's a really, really, really cool image. I swallow as I listen to the pounding. There's no time for me to finish my question. If staying in this room was a mistake, then I guess asking something like that was the mistake too. Hearing the splintering of wood, I whip around to face the door. Pupper! It was a split-second decision, but I distanced myself from the door in the hopes I'd be safer. Little did I know what would happen next. The two dogs that broke down the door burst into the room. Arcueid slashed at them with her claws, and the second she does, the room is flooded with fire, hot flames washing over every corner until it's filled to the brim. Unless we're dealing with incredible temperatures, a human won't die instantly when exposed to fire. With these flames hit like a blunt weapon powerful enough to turn the body to ashes in a single blow. It reminds me of a flamethrower. A flamethrower might look like it's launching flames at you, but in reality it merely douses the target with fuel, igniting it a microsecond later. Thanks, Wikipedia. Great. Why? Okay. And the fire's pretty similar. The blaze strikes across the room like a whip, reducing everything it touches to cinders in an instant. What chance does this human body have against something that can melt its way through a wall or table? If there's one small mercy at the center of this inferno, is that the fire lashed straight through my waist and immediately incinerated everything above it, sparing me the slow agony of burning alive. Ooh. A man got Darth Mauled. Are we gonna get Shiki with robot spider legs? That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I was like, wasn't staying in the room like death in the original? I think it was. 2? Look at us, we're doing it right. Yes, Dubious Hint segment number 2, let's go. Teach me, Miss CL.
Welcome to my territory. ようこそ無残なバッドボーイ。
I love whenever Neko Arc speaks English. It's the funniest thing.
まあどっちも同じやろ。なんて甘い考えで選択肢を選んでみればこのありさま。消極的なメガネくんに勝つ。お入れる救済コーナー。教えてシエル先生、始まるよ。2回目の方はこんにちは。初めての方はよろしくお願いします。
Something someone wrote in the comments is that apparently CL Sensei was designed to be her looking older, which makes sense, especially in the original. the original CL Sensei looks a lot older. This one, a bit older, right? But not as much. But the original, like, wow, like that really looks older.
大抵のプレイヤーさんはこちらの回が初見になると思われるので自己紹介から。
It's actually the second for me, but go ahead.
Q&A コーナー教官役のシエルです。こちらはアシスタントの猫アルク。毎回端的にデッドエンドの原因を説明しますので少しだけお付き合いくだされば幸いです。大抵は直前の選択肢がまずかったんで1個前に戻ればいいだけなんだけど。
Yep.
たまにずいぶん前の選択が原因でデッドエンドになることもあるから油断なんに。
I don't remember too many of that in Tsukihime. There definitely wasn't in Fate. Not Tsukihime.
そういうケースの解説はまたおいおい。今回はよくある即死系デッドエンドです。異常な事態に直面した際慎重に様子を見るというのは正しい考えですが今回はアウトでしたね。
This one is literally just a tutorial on, hey, you better have been saving often.
何しろ逃げ場がありませんから。翼でもない限りホテルの屋上に陣取るのはおすすめできません。
Which is funny because in the manga, they do jump out the window. And it's a really cool section. Hey, if you watched my... Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't want to watch my playthrough of Tsukihime, the original, at least watch my reading or read yourself the manga. The manga of Tsukihime is really, really good. I would argue it is the best way to experience the original story. It is very well done.
猫であれば逃げられたのだが、にゃんと身軽に空を飛べるからにゃ、猫は。
Yeah, you just double tap forward in the air and you do your dori 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 and just float.
それは身が軽いという意味ですか？屋根から屋根に？でもホテルの最上階からは猫でもさすがに。
Oh, well, that too. Okay. Bye. I still can't believe they just used the sonic ring noise. Toned down. How do they do that? How do they do that? Like when it was an indie game, when it was a doujin game where they didn't have to care about copyright as much, it's like whatever. How do they do that?
何の参考にもなりません。あの猫。
Okay. Cool. So, let us load back there. So I'm going to try and remember as many of the dead ends as I can. But, anyways, yeah, no, we need to go outside.
よし。
I take a short, deep breath to clear my head. I search for something I could use as a weapon, but a quick survey of the room doesn't give me anything. Bro, break one of the bottles. I swallow my hesitation. Oh, no, never mind. You have your knife. Okay. Take my knife from my bag and head for the door.
資金。
様子を見てくる。俺が戻ってくるまで部屋から出るな。
Arcueid looks like she wants to say something, but I tear my gaze away and head into the hallway. Ooh, spooky. It's dark. I guess lights must have malfunctioned. The only light I see is a faraway glow from the elevator hall. My throat burns even more now. The very air is thick and scraping against me like sandpaper. The silence in the hallway is unsettling. You could hear a pin drop. There isn't a single sign of life. No blank running in terror? Why are you self-censoring people? No burnt corpses? Why are you self-censoring yourself? What is going on? The utter silence is making me question what I saw on the monitor just now.
異常はないよな。
I walk through the hallway. Sweat forms into beads and runs down my forehead. It's so quiet, I'm starting to feel like I'm the intruder here. Intruder. Intruder. Normally you'd exterminate any pests that intrude a place like this. It's all I can do to calm myself. I readjust my grip on my knife so the sweat doesn't make it slip from my palm. I feel nauseous. There's a pressure near my temples. Somewhere between my eyes and my brain, my nerves experience a strange pull. It's as if my eyes are trying to crawl into my brain cavity. Or maybe my brain's trying to swallow my eyes. I bite back against the dull, aching pain as I traverse through the heat wave blasting me from all sides. My eyes grow heavy. My eyelids feel like they're gaining mass. My body sways. I might just pass out. I know the feeling well. It's how I feel just before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. The pain is so unbearable I have to take off my glasses. I look in the direction of the elevators. This corridor is so long. It's gotta be more than 20 meters to the elevators from here. It's too far, I tell myself. Go back to the room. What is this? A few more steps and there'll be no more going back. A clear sound. The gentle chime of the elevator shatters the silence, as if to herald the destruction of this pure empty space devoid of life. A foreboding chill stops me in my tracks. My eyes are pulled towards the unwanted intrusion. That's a crazy visual. The small elevator light stops. It has arrived at its destination. I can see the lines stretching across the elevator door in the distance, though shrouded by a dense web of them, I can barely see the door. The door's open. I peer inside the cramped metal box. The inside is overflowing with flesh. The flesh of things that were alive until a moment ago. My breathing ceases. Just like my brain refused to process the things I'm seeing, so do my lungs abandon their duty. I stare at the scene within the elevator. The thick chunks of red meat are packed tight as they can be within the metal box. In the middle of it all are two dogs tearing at their morbid feast. My vision turns red. With a nauseating, squelching noise, a gelatinous mass of meat oozes out of the elevator. A sea of blood, carcass, bone, brain, fingers, and viscera. The pool of carnage only houses two living residents, the dogs. The rational part of my brain refuses to accept this scene as reality. At the end of the hallway, the dogs are still digging into the mutilated cadavers. Terrible new sounds travel up through the elevator shaft. Discordant screams spill into the hallway. If I strain my ears, I can just make out the sounds of flesh being gnawed on, intermingled with the shrieks of despair so anguished they hardly sound human. It feels like my hearing has found a new shortcut to my imagination. That's a really good line, oh man. Even though I can't see it with my eyes, the carnage is all too clear in my mind's eye. People being burned alive. People being eaten alive. A man notices the unusual temperatures and leaves his room to flee. The second he opens the door, he's enveloped by hellish fire that roasts him to the bone. The young girl sobs in despair, locked in her room. When the flames from the lobby reach her floor, she's in the bathtub. The water steams and bubbles. Oh my god! Boiling her alive and turning her ruptured flesh to ash from the inside out. Oh my god! That's a rough one. Like, okay, flames reach you and your guy gets roast on fire. Okay, like, fine. I can take that. But boiling in the bathtub when she doesn't think so? Oh my god. Many clamor to get into an elevator that arrives. Inside, they find it already packed with the bodies of those who tried to escape before. By the time the newcomers realize those present are no longer human, they are already being consumed. There are two types of screams. Those born from the fear of being eaten, and those born from the fear of being burned alive. There are no exceptions. The small elevator is a microcosm of what the hotel's become. This vision of hell is so close I can feel the agony flush against my skin. I want to throw up, but I can't. If I did, I'd become a part of this horrible ocean of red. I force my body to remember how to breathe. I grind my teeth together to regain a sense of control. The dogs notice me. As soon as they do, all sound from the floors below stops. That can only mean one thing. No one else is alive. The dogs break into a sprint towards me. I'm the only prey left within their hunting grounds. The black hounds approach me. Their bodies are marked with countless lines, but they're no use to me now. My mind is too paralyzed to do anything. I can't even decide whether to fight or flee. One of the dogs leaps. No human could even come close to matching it in speed. It covers the 20 meters of the hallway in less than 10 seconds. Its maw opens wide. Sharp, saw-like teeth reach for my throat. The dog's movements are fast and deadly efficient. The second my mind manages to process that it is leaping at me, the beast closes its fangs around my neck with a terrible gnashing sound. This is where Shikitono dies. No. That isn't right. This won't kill me. I won't die here. Seeing death isn't new to me. It was a hot summer day. Feels so long ago, yet it was merely 7 years ago. Back then I witnessed something far more horrifying. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the dog that tried to gnaw at my throat. As if on autopilot, my arms swung up the second the monster's canines touched my skin before it could pierce my carotid artery. Sure, I'm gonna pretend like I know medical terms. Ooh. Dang, we actually... Okay, we're getting a surprising amount of Shiki face. But also... Okay, so we saw Shiki's eyes earlier. This is what Shiki mostly looked like in the original visual novel. Just eyeless, but this here is... I think they're doing this instead of being visual novel protagonists hide the eyes. I think this is very different. I think they're hiding the eyes for another reason. I surprise even myself. Like a machine whose only function is cutting and slicing, I thread the knife through the dog's forehead with mechanical precision. It comes easy, as if I'm merely cutting one of the dog's lines, as I am merely cutting one of the dog's lines. Normally, destroying an animal's brain wouldn't cause its body to cease functioning immediately. The muscles will move in spasm in response to the brain's final signals, carrying out their last commands to the best of their ability. Even if I tore my blade straight through the dog's head, its fangs would still tear through my neck. But this is different. I didn't just kill the dog, I brought it death. Death means total cessation. No matter how monstrous the dog was, it lost every ounce of power the second I killed it. It falls limply to the ground. The second dog is already lunging toward me in its place. I stab the knife into its wide-open jaw. My blade buries into its wet flesh. The skin of the dog may be oddly tough, but its insides are soft and yielding. Its flesh and bone have long rotted. But I messed up this time. This dog's lines aren't on its head. They're all congregated around its chest. I might have managed to stab it, but the damage done is little more than a flesh wound. The knife has pierced the dog's maw, reaching the back of its head, which naturally means that the hand holding the knife is now fully enveloped by the creature's mouth. The dog is still very much alive. It clamps its jaw shut around my outstretched arm. I feel the strain as it pulls against the soft cartilage between my hand and wrist. Any moment now, it'll tear straight through the flesh. Pain is enough to snap me back to reality. This frickin' hurts. Okay, so I've said it before and I'll say it again. One, I'm like conditioned to not cuss whenever possible on YouTube just for reasons. But two, if you're going to have expletives, use them sparingly. This is a fair place to use it, I would say. This one works. Cause like, yeah, that works. What the hell am I doing? Getting my arm torn to shreds just to stick a knife into a dog's mouth? I struggle and squirm, trying to wrench my arm out of its vice-like grip. As something gnashes at my arm, an intense pain shoots up through my nerves like a firework. Its teeth feel like they're stuck deep within my arm, but it's awfully lively for something with a knife in its skull. The dog presses its weight against me, toppling both of us and pinning me down against the carpet. Ooh, I don't like this pupper. My back is driven hard against the floor, but even now its grip on my arm hasn't loosened one bit. With my knife still plunged deep into its head, the black dog tightens its jaw further. It's gonna rip off my arm. This is insane. What kind of dog keeps biting down in a situation like this? Something warm and wet drips down to my elbow. Red blood is dribbling from the dog's frenzied, quivering lips. It might just be the dog's blood trickling down my arm from the knife. Or it might be my blood, flowing freely as the dog tries to render my arm into mincemeat. To my scrambled brain, it doesn't matter much. The dog refuses to release its prize. There's no way I can run away with the dog still clinging to my arm. Not that running away was ever an option to begin with. Nor did I have any intention of doing so. I just want to survive. In order to survive, there was only ever one condition. All I have to do is kill. But how do I do that? It won't be long till one of my arms gets chewed off. That arm is still gripping the knife. The full weight of the dog has me trapped against the carpet. Even if I managed to pull my arm free, chances are the dog would have its jaws around my neck the very next second. Was that you? That didn't sound like you. The desperate circumstances force a weak chuckle to escape my lips. I just need time to assess the situation, some time to really think it through. That's how I've always done things. That's how I was taught. Like, look. See how there are plenty of lines running along the back of the dog's head? The path to survival is blindingly clear. This is a wild beast. A monster that devours humans. When it's this close to me, I'm painfully aware of its wildly beating heart, burning with its own desire to live. It clamps down on my arm even harder than before. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I wish it was me tearing my own throat out. It's kill or be killed, a natural universal law. So why? Why does the supposed cruelty of the action give me so much pause? Get it? Pause like a dog. A thick drop of blood splashes against my face. The red fluid drips down my forehead and into my eyes. My vision is painted a deep, dark crimson. It burns itself into my retinas until red is all I can see. The warm, viscous liquid strikes me as oddly familiar. My consciousness slowly slips away from me. Even so, I can't kill something that's alive. Hypocrite. You've already killed something much bigger than some mutt. Oh, that's right. But that time was different. With Arcueid, Shikitono wasn't thinking clearly at all. Even when I killed that big dog, it was as if my body moved on its own, without my input. Oh, this song is haunting. But this time, it requires me to make a conscious decision. Did Master tell you, Shiki? To use this power for yourself and not for anyone else? That's why. As long as I stay who I am, as long as I remain a decent human being, I will never take any life for granted. Hypocrite. You've done it all before. Long ago. A bad dream from my childhood. Look, what's holding you back now? It was a hot summer day. It's kill or be killed. Before me is the figure of a young boy drenched in blood. You've already. My hands are stained with warm red blood. Killed before, haven't you? Oh boy. Oh, there he goes. I stab. Rather than extract my arm, I instead bury it deeper as I slice through the beast's skull. A pained shriek echoes in my eardrums. Unable to cry out properly with my arm jammed down its throat, the dog's wail resembles a woman's shrill scream. Must be in tremendous pain. Not that it matters. I drive the knife deeper inside, together with my mangled arm. The blade pokes out from the back of the dog's skull. I split its skull and effortlessly slice through its hide, scattering gobs of blood and brains across the carpet. For I know it. I thrust both my knife and my arm clearly through the back of the dog's skull. And yet, it still lives. There's only one thing left for me to do. I take the knife from my bloodied right hand and move it to my left. The impaled dog's body trembles and squirms, seemingly pleading for mercy. It even stops digging its fangs in my flesh, as if to show remorse. Oh my god! Like I frickin' care. I run my blade along the beast's lines and quickly dismantle its body. That's pretty good. I'm always hypercritical of using the big bad swear words, but that's a really good one. It just cause look, I'm like a chef when it comes to writing, and those are spices, and so many people will over spice their writing, and then it just becomes way too lame. You gotta use it carefully. I would say those are two very good uses. I look down on that which was once filled with life. The limp body no longer protests as I finally remove my arm from its maw. I take a long look at my bloodied arm. My school uniform has been torn to shreds, but the gouges in my flesh aren't even a centimeter deep. The deluge of blood dripping down my arm earlier must have belonged to the dog. It doesn't even hurt that badly anymore. My fear must have clouded my mind and amplified the pain in the heat of the moment. I'm still lying down on the floor, staring at the ceiling. My head hurts so much. My world is a patchwork stitched together by these lines of death. Though my limbs are freezing cold, my mind is spinning with a fever. The corpses of the two dogs are right beside me. One of my arms is covered in blood, while the other still clutches the reddened knife. Beneath this floor are the mangled and charred corpses of the victims that died in the pandemonium. There's nothing I can do but laugh. Because this isn't real. Can't possibly be real. I'm normal. Totally normal. The only weird thing here is this dream. The second I wake up, it'll all go away. When did I start dreaming with my eyes open? The elevator chimes. Such a cute, clear noise. Entirely inappropriate for the current situation. It's the elevator adjacent to the one that brought the dogs. My exhausted brain doesn't even try to contemplate what this means. The doors open. My mind might not be working, but my body will have to. In a dull haze, I grip the knife in my right hand and haul myself up to face the oncoming tragedy. I don't want to do this. I wearily gaze inside of the newly arrived elevator. Inside it is
から。
completely empty. A bit of an anticlimax in its own way. The danger has passed. Everything's over, and I've already gotten a grasp of the situation on the lower floors, which means there's no reason for me to stick around here. I turn to leave when...
誰か
Really? I hear a woman's voice. She sounds so desperate it almost seems out of touch with reality. Her pleading screams grow in volume, accompanied by panicked footfalls. There's no mistaking it. It must be a survivor, out of breath as she frantically works her way up the stairwell next to the elevators.
やったここ燃えてない
She sounds relieved, but she doesn't slow her pace. Within moments, I can see her spilling from the stairwell and into the hallway.
ねえそこの君
She starts running again as she takes note of me.
助かった私助かった
What's gonna happen? I don't remember this. Her expression, overcast and pale with fear, is lit up by a flash of joy as her eyes focus on me. What? A white-gloved hand seizes her, ripping her from salvation and back into hell.
そういや
Still watching me, the woman begs for help. Oh boy. And then falls silent. No resistance. No constraints that bind her. The second she's grabbed, she loses consciousness. As if this were a dream and she was snapped awake, leaving only her body behind. Hey, yo, why's my man got them yowie hands? Those some big-ass hands. Stop. Stop this at once. That woman. Whoa, he's going in. She has nothing to do with this. Sorry, what were those flashes there? I need to see this again. I need to see this again. Okay. What were these flashes? Because they look different. Okay. Stop. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, is that the hotel? Why is there zombies? What? Is this meant to be the hotel? No. Why is it showing this place? What is this place? Huh. Why are we seeing these? 'Cause, Preying on her is...
やめ
My cries come too late. Not that they would have changed anything. My eyes are fixated on the woman's neck. Wrong. Why? Oh, nope, don't press that. Starry orbs of light flicker and scatter within my vision. Rage like never before boils in my chest. My vision clears and I see two soulless pits amid a deluge of blood. The woman's legs twitch ever so slightly, her fingers jolting reflexively. All emotion, all life drains from her face. Must be the first time I've seen it happen. But I don't need to be familiar with the sight to comprehend the horrific spectacle in front of me. The drinking and gulping of the monster is almost unnaturally loud against the otherwise silent hallway. When it's had its fill, the monster discards her body without a second thought. Her body wavers, frail like a withered tree, a ballerina tiptoeing the fine line between life and death. I gaze at her pitiful form. The woman is totally silent. The only sound is that of rushing blood. Then her back splits open. In a single moment, a fountain of blood erupts. The vampire sighs in relief as he bathes in the scarlet shower. In an instant, everything around me changes. The sweltering temperature finally seems to match up with reality. A dam of fire bursts, flooding out all at once. The hallway is absolutely enveloped by flames. The heat presses against me, singeing and stinging at my skin like claws. If I were to take a breath now, I'd surely burn my lungs. Something is strange here. The flames continue licking at their surroundings, and yet the building isn't on fire. As the only thing that's still alive here, I'm the only one left to feel this inferno. My headache intensifies. The man begins walking my way. It's clear he's the source of this river of flames. The closer he gets, the more terrible the heat becomes. He's still 15 meters away from me, but even at this distance, it's impossible for me to breathe. I realize that nothing could survive in this man's vicinity. The proximity alone would lead to certain incineration. The shadow continues onwards in my direction. He's lean and tall, wearing antiquated clothes topped with a heavy fur cloak. Though his figure may be human-like, everything about him screams that he's anything but. There's something off about him. Something wild, crazed, and foreign. Only 13 meters now. He continues without a sound. I glare at the man, knife firmly in hand. He doesn't respond. I'm starting to wonder if he can even see me. He does have kind of an iPad baby, lead paint sort of stare. He's got that COVID baby stare. That's what I'm thinking of, right? Like when a baby's born in COVID, and then years later you look at them, and they just kind of stare through you, like they don't know how to live on this earth. Yeah. 10 meters. I train my eyes on his body. Amid the rising flames, I can finally see the lines of death that cover him. Whoa. Bro, he's got that Tony Stark arc reactor. My brain feels like soup boiling over an open flame. What is that? A dense and intricate torrent of death swirls at the center of it all. And at the center of the torrent is an odd glimmer, bright and shiny like a precious jewel. My head hurts too much to keep staring at it. It's like how staring straight into the sun will burn your retinas. There's no way I can directly stare at his core for too long. If I don't steel myself, my brain itself will might rupture at the sight of it. 8 meters. He draws ever closer. The temperature rises, though not enough to cook through human flesh yet. 6 meters. The man stops. His focus falls on me. It took him this long to notice me standing here. I meet his gaze. I shouldn't make eye contact. Arcueid's words of warning ring clearly in my ears. But I can't tear my eyes away. I can't ignore the abyss before me. He's different. These eyes can't be the mystic eyes Arcueid was talking about. These are entirely fundamentally different. These aren't eyes that bind the viewer, they're just filled with madness. The eyes of one who has lost his mind. A madman. A poor, hapless man driven crazy by his own impulses. A man just like me. instincts scream at me to get out of danger. Every alarm in my body tells me this is bad news, but my body won't move, not even as much as a single fingertip. Danger signals fire. Wrong way. Danger signals fire through my synapses. No matter the cost, I have to get away from him. If I don't, it'll be the end for me. But I'm too late. The creature with sickly eyes stares at me, but barely pays me any notice. From his outstretched hand unfolds a fire that'll burn me alive. I'm going to die. This fire is as real as it is terrifying. Different from the blue flames that flooded the hallway. They were some sort of byproduct and effects to his cause. They could swallow you alive, but you won't die immediately. They'd scorch you with some awful phantom pain that feeds off life itself. But these flames are different. Just getting close is enough to char the skin, enough to burn all organic matter to ashes. The fire engulfs me from all sides like a claw seizing its prey. It will cleave my body in two, neatly cauterizing the flesh where it is ripped apart. The only thing more real than this fire is my fate. Yet just before I die... Oh! My body is flung backwards with a snap.
Arcueid.
The name creaks from my throat. My mind goes blank. I have a rough understanding of what just transpired. Arcueid pulled me back just before stepping in front of me to absorb the blow from that sinister, fiery hand. But what I don't understand is why she did it. Wasn't I supposed to be her shield? So why is she getting hurt to protect me instead? Arcueid's face scrunches up in pain. Now she's hitting them clashes. Whoa! That's a sick image! The man hits her with the flaming claw again and again, but this time she doesn't have to pull me out of the fire's way. Arcueid swings her right hand like she did in the alley, batting the flames away. But she's unable to extinguish the flames entirely, and the lingering embers strike her head on. Does that mean even Arcueid could be burned if she took the full brunt of those flames? Are they hot enough to kill even her? This woman with barely any lines on her, who's supposed to be so far removed from death? He's got like blue lines too. He's got like red lines and blue lines. The entire clash lasts less than 5 seconds. The two exchange a dozen blows each way. I don't understand why. When they're done, the man solemnly lowers his arm. He stares at Arcueid intently, not saying a single word. Arcueid glares back bitterly as she clutches at her red abdomen. The man has eyes for nothing but Arcueid. He doesn't even care that I'm here, safe behind Arcueid's protective figure clutching a knife. Oh? Vapor slips from the man's lips. His breath is heavy, like it's being pushed through an exhaust pipe, as he reaches his left hand to find something beneath his coat. I hear a faint metallic clink. It's gotta be some kind of blade. I mean, I've seen that sword too many times. I've seen it way too many times. I had a friend who mained this fella. And then in melty blood type Lumina, and fighting him is annoying. It's the worst. Then he got Count of Monte Cristo, who he played. Like, he played this character because it reminded him of Count of Monte Cristo, and then he got Count of Monte Cristo, so. Lucky man. He's hiding a long object beneath his coat. Same object he used to rend through the back of that woman and turned her into a fountain of blood. He takes one step closer to Arcueid. His weapon is still carefully concealed beneath his coat. Okay, so, yeah. In the slanted brackets, people are saying it just means that they're speaking a foreign language. Which, okay, No, that makes sense because like I've seen that in comics before. The thing that confuses me is they're still having the characters speak Japanese? When we've heard him speak apparently Russian before, he said something in Russian in that one scene. I just am surprised they don't just have them speaking Russian. Okay.
それとも貴様の親は最低限の言葉も教えぬ型なしだったのか
Also shoutouts to the first time seeing her golden eyes. The man stops in his tracks. A light flickers from behind his hollow eyes, as if he's only just remembering himself. I don't even know what language Arcueid used. The man clears his throat, composing himself. His voice carries a current of pain, like he had forgotten he were a living being until just now.
礼儀は知っている。だが、貴様に語るほどの名はまだない。
It's literally a lie. I know your name.
礼儀はなっていないけど恥だけは足りているようね元の名前は失ったかでも呼び名ぐらいはあるでしょ継いだばかりのようだけど仮にもその一角なんだから
The atmosphere in the hall shifts. The azure flames well up around the corridor, burning ever brighter. This is a cool image, too. It looks like Arcueid hit a sore spot.
Viov.
Yeah, there we go. Viov, which is a fun name to say. And his last name is even sillier. A pained expression paints his face.
Viov Archangel.
Oh! Is it pronounced Archangel? I always said Archangel, but it's Archangel. It's Archangel, okay. Okay. Which is probably just a, Russian, Slavic way of saying Archangel, but okay. He declares his full name.
知らない名前私が記録していない以上正当な後継者とも思えないもしかして親は自滅
Yeah, because he was not on the list of, I'm pretty sure he was not on the list of the dead ancestor apostles, right? In the original. But then again, one thing I do know is that the list that we apparently see a little bit of in this game is different, including a notable exception. One who was on the list in the original and is not in this one, which is very curious considering it's a character we know very deeply. We'll get to that when we get to that.
そうではない。ご当主は俺が仕留めた。
Okay, but who is your liege?
なったばかりの祖ってことじゃあ次は私を殺して箔をつけたい
名誉は己の胸にあるものだ。俺が欲しいものしか奪わない。
So does Bro not know Japanese? That's crazy, because then that means that when they're talking to each other in Melty Blood, no one understands him.
心構えは立派だけどそれなら私だけに絞りなさいこれはちょっとやりすぎよ
いや、この都市は汚れている。
Oh.
焼き尽くさなければ俺の心情に戻る。
あっそうつまり蛮族同然の三流使徒だったわけ
Yeah. Dead apostles usually, especially the ancestors, usually have like a bit of, like decorum. Like there's a bit of honor almost among them.
ソヤであることは自覚している。神祖の姫、その心臓を俺によこせ。
The area around Viov twists with the simmering heat. Like a river bursting through its banks, the fire rushes in our direction. Arcueid stands in front of me like a breakwater, holding back the flood from swallowing me whole.
動かないで式この炎があいつの武器
No. Really?
消し済みになりたくなかったら私の後ろから離れないで
I appreciate her warning, but something about her words strikes me as odd. This is his weapon? Is she really sure about that? I mean, after creating these high temperatures, he's still... No. This isn't the time to think about that. Focusing, I tightly grip the knife in my hand. He's coming. The hallway is now a cavern of flame. Viov pulls the blade from his coat. Oh? For some strange reason, Viov suddenly turns his back towards us. He strides down the hall and leisurely enters the elevator, leaving us behind as if nothing had happened. Okay. Now I officially don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't understand those dogs. I don't understand the flames that cover the hallway. I don't understand the walking nightmare that attacked the hotel. Arcueid slumps against me with a thud. Oh, you're really not looking good. She's got a nasty wound. It looks like she managed to stop the bleeding, but her face is contorted in pain. It's still fresh. After all, she only just received the wound while she was shielding me from certain death.
そうだよ。お前。
ちょっと甘く見てた。あれくらいならシキを助けて、私も軽くかわせると思ったんだけど。さすがだね、シキ。シキにやられた傷、そんなに甘くなかったみたい。
With her face still scrunched up in pain, Arcueid smiles as if she was amused by her own words. I can't bear to look at her. Not only did she suffer this wound while protecting me, I'm the reason she's weak in the first place. So why is she still smiling at me so stupidly? How am I even supposed to respond? Arcueid leans against me. Putting her weight on my shoulders, she closes her eyes.
ちょっと待て。何目を閉じてるんだ、バカ。しっかりしろ。お前は夜なら死なない吸血鬼なんだろ。
でも私なんだか限界みたい。悪いんだけど部屋まで連れ帰っておいて。
Can you tell me the address? I might have to put it on my phone and Google Maps. Arcueid collapses against me. I managed to catch her just in time, arms wrapped tight around her slender body.
ちょっと待ってくれ。
You die on me here. I'll really have no idea on how to respond.
ダメだ。起きろ、アルクエイド。
I shout at her, shivering. Her eyes remain closed. When her soft snoring sounds so content, I'm starting to feel like an idiot for being worried about her at all. Yeah, my concern was wasted on her. She's not dying. She just fell asleep.
部屋まで連れてけって、また勝手なこと言いやがって。
It's not like there's any other option, though. I can't exactly stay at the hotel when it's like this. Things will get difficult if we stick around the scene of a massacre. Despite everything being limited to just the hotel, as morning comes and people arrive, it'll quickly be clear what happened. My head still hurts. Arcueid isn't the only one who's at her limit. Put my glasses back on and to at least alleviate my headache.
アルクエイドの部屋って。あそこか。
It's good. I wouldn't be able to. Even though I've only visited once, I still vividly recall its location. Well, no point loitering around here any longer. I gather up our things from the royal suite, pull Arcueid into my arms, and leave the barren hotel with a feeling of shame pressing down on my shoulders. Good thing it's like 5 a.m. and people won't see you princess carrying around a princess. It's already light outside.
そうか。そういうことか。
That explains why the man left so suddenly. The sun illuminates the city with its gentle light. Night has given way to day. For now, I should just focus on getting Arcueid the rest she needs. Taking a taxi is out of the question. We stand out. If a pair of the suspicious got into your car, you'd definitely remember their faces. Instead, I carry Arcueid as far as from the hotel as I can before boarding a bus bound for Soya Station. We're lucky. Given the early hour, there are no witnesses or curious onlookers to point their gaze at us. The emergency exit around the back is exactly like I left it 2 days ago. Neither the residents nor the building's caretakers must have noticed the lock was broken. It's 6:30 in the morning now. I sneak into the self-proclaimed vampire's room just like I did last time. Finally, this long mess of a day can be laid to rest. Buddy, how your cell phone hasn't been going nuts with calls from Akiha, I don't know. I do not know. Anyways, I was gonna call it here anyways. Perfect. That's the end of Fire and Blood 1. We'll be checking out Fire and Blood 2 next time, guys. Thank you for watching. We will see the aftermath of that. And again, probably deal with, the fact that there's so much stuff that we're gonna have to deal with when we get back to our mansion. We'll see about that. Anyways, thank you all for watching, guys. We'll see you then for some more. Ciao.
Yo.